was a so one. We find ourselves locked back in the studio, looking at plugins with Sean and Dan for this episode of Is It? And today we're looking at something that doesn't look like a compressor.
It doesn't. It does have a compressor, though.
It has one. I've just realised it's where it says compressor.
This is the Impact SOUNDWORKS Tape Sculptor, which was recommended to us in the comments. There's lots of tape emulators out there at the moment. There's some really nice ones. We looked at the Tape Face from Kiev. We have, there's one by Tone Empire we looked at. There's bunches of them out there at the moment, and people use them quite often on their master bus just to give something some tape vibe, give it some characteristics, analog warmth, all that stuff that people like these days.
That we spent years trying to get away from.
Exactly, all that sound we didn't like, we now like. So this is what this is. However, after opening this and playing with it with very little enthusiasm for another tape emulator, I've kind of been converted. I think this might be the best one because A, it sounds bang on exactly like tape, but B, unlike the others, which I found I would pick one setting and tweak it and that was it. I then had to leave it. That was where it sounded right. And I could only really get one usable sound out of it. This, I can make it sound like really high-end tape, beautiful sheen, or I can make it sound like a grungy old 7 inches per second ruined tape, or anywhere in between, and also get some really cool effects out of it. So using the chew function and the degrade not so much, that just adds noise, wasn't a big fan of that, but the chew and the loss function and the wow and the flutter, to be able to get them all synced up to tempo and do some cool stuff, this is quite good for putting a drum loop in and doing some interesting stuff to it, not just for making it sound like it was recorded on tape. So it's very versatile. It's got an emphasis section, which is basically EQ. It's got a compressor.
Just like to emphasise the emphasis section.
Thanks for that. Needed some emphasising. The saturation on it appears to be pretty nice. It's got oversampling. It's, what more do you need? This is, I think, possibly the best tape emulator I've heard that is useful for more than just emulating tape. Yeah,
actually, yes, I can see that the chew and the loss and the flutter and the wow would do some funky stuff.
Yeah, it's fun to play with as well.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was messing around with it for much longer than I needed to, just because it was quite good fun.
Just rhythmic stuff, or did you put anything else?
No, I just put rhythmic stuff through it, just because I was enjoying it. It was getting some really cool sounds and thinking, oh, okay, that's really interesting. It's doing creative stuff, not just making it sound like it's on tape.
Very cool.
Yeah.
What's the deal with demos?
There's always a downside, Dan.
Yep.
Unfortunately, blasted with white noise, which I've never liked the white noise thing, but the fact that this has a noise section, which I wanted turned off because I don't like it, and then I kept hearing noise, really confused me. It took me a while to work out it was because it was a demo. I thought I was accidentally turning it on. So yeah, that's quite annoying. Don't like the noise thing. Prefer a proper demo. But anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah, and the price?
$99, which that's still a little chunk of money.
Yeah.
It's not, it's not in the $30 range.
No.
But compared to the prices of some of the other tape emulators, and considering how much more
there's more features and
it's a very it's a tricky one. I do think it will do all of the stuff that those tape emulators do and more.
It'd have to be pretty good to get $99 out of me for.
Well, this is it. You do have to think, if you're gonna, let's just say you're starting from nothing, you want a decent third-party vocal compressor, decent third-party bus compressor, decent EQ. There's a whole bunch of things you want to get before you get to this.
Yeah.
I understand that. But when you do get to wanting a tape emulator, this is all right.
So, Mr. Vincent.
Yes.
Don't turn your card over. I've got to read what it is. The Impact SOUNDWORKS Tape Sculptor.
There you go.
Is it shit?
No, I don't think it's shit. I think as far as these things go, I think it's probably the better one I've heard.
Very, very good. Very interesting. Certainly worth a try, even though you get your white noise demo, I suppose. So please like and subscribe the video.
Absolutely. And also we have an Instagram now, which is Studio Life 101. And there's a Patreon. And we have a merch store and a whole bunch of other stuff. And all the links are down there.
So until next time,
we will see you soon. Adios.
Bye.